Hey, what's up? Welcome to today's analysis. Today we'll just go briefly through a few analysis, look at a few pairs here and there, and then see what the week has in store for us. I don't have anything much. I'll just jump straight into the analysis, into this Zoom session that you're going to watch actually, and see what we have analyzed for you guys. So if the sound system is bad today, my apologies in advance. We'll get it much better. With that said, let's get straight into today's Zoom and analysis session. Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome to today's analysis. So welcome back again to our analysis here at Financial Hub. Another Wednesday, another look at the markets. Well, we're always looking at the markets, but today we'll just look at how markets have been faring. There have been a few plays that have played out quite well, and we like seeing such playing out. So I hope everyone is well. Today won't take so much time. I'm alone today. Well, not really alone. Ken is not in. And I have a class coming in the next few minutes, so I'll just be able to rush into the analysis, look at a few things here and there, and then we can end it there for today. But before we get into that, remember on Monday Ken talked about today having some inflation news from the United States, so that's the main main fundamental analysis I'm paying attention to this week. And then it's coming out later on today at 3:30 p.m. So at 3:30, that's what will be happening, and then we'll see how it will affect the markets. So far, so good. Nothing crazy happening in the markets. Everything happening. I'm watching a few pairs which I'll break down with you guys, and it's seeming quite fine so far. So without saying much, let's just jump into the analysis and look at a few things here and there. So if I share my screen, so let's start with, what can we start with? Let's start with dollar. The dollar. So dollar, still very bearish on this one long term, especially after having this breakout and this continuation to the downside. So remember, we had this long momentum to the downside, no major correction, got some pullback here. We got capped by this level, and market went back below to break below this level. So I still expect long-term shorts on this one. I'm very bearish on the dollar index. Okay, maybe if we can get maybe some correction to retest this before we continue further, get some sideways movement from here, and then we fall. But ultimately, I'm expecting this market to really drop back to the 88.5 level down here. So I expect some dollar to continue in the direction of the trend. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you're looking at a channel. I have a channel here that I've drawn, so I always move with the market. Once the market starts moving, I move with it. Whatever pullbacks you get, I use it as my trend line bounce, especially this one. Market retraced, got that bounce, created a new lower low. So that was a valid trend line. So you're looking at this support, market didn't go back above it. I'm looking for market to come maybe to the 89.7 level, in line with this previous support over here, and then we can get some correction from that level. So once market taps this level, if we don't get any momentum to the downside, if we don't get that close, then expect some correction to come here before we get any move to the downside. So that's what I'm watching on this one. And if I now go to things like dollar, what is it? This is it. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, remember, long term was very long. I'm still very long on this one, with this market forming higher highs and higher lows within this channel like pattern. Okay, so within this channel like pattern, talked about it last week on Friday on the Zoom session, as well as this week. So you can see what was happening. We had some solid breakout over here. Okay, so this was a solid breakout to me, but what do I want to wait for? What I want to wait for is how today will pan out. On Monday and Tuesday, we didn't really get any move. We sort of got this push to the upside, then closed as a shooting star. Normally happens on a Monday. It's totally normal. Market sort of fix people, then corrects a bit, then later on in the week continues in the direction of the trend. So quite common to see such a pattern. So today, Wednesday, is a significant day. Wednesday and Thursday are really significant because most pairs normally change direction or start direction on that time. For example, last week, this is what we had. This was Monday. Okay, so Monday we got that push to the upside. Tuesday we corrected, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we got this about 150 push pip movement to the upside, breaking that critical level. So today also same thing. Look, this was Monday, this is Tuesday. a pattern that normally happens. Then this is Wednesday. You can see we've gotten quite some bearish momentum. So I'll wait to see how market will close. I'm looking for this market to see if we will close above this level. If we remain closed above this level, then I still expect this market to continue rallying. So I'll wait for that close, see what will happen in the market, and then continue trading it. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we got that sort of a breakout. So on this one, I have sort of this channel-like formation, what I was watching. So I'll be paying attention to this. I was talking with my people on the Discord group about it, and then now you can see that push the upside, that bounce of that level come to the downside. So I'll be waiting to see how market will react to this level. Something else that can happen, this is not the daily chart. So on the 4-hour chart, it's sort of a different analysis. So we see this strong break of this level. See this strong break back below this support. Back below this resistance. What can happen is that we can get some rejection over here, okay? Some rejection over here, and market can fall to the downside, getting some correction. So I'll be paying attention to that. If it close back above, then I'll continue being bullish as we've seen on the daily chart. So today I'll be paying a lot of attention, especially during that time when the news will be coming out. I'll be paying a lot of attention so that I can know what decision to make on this pair. So that's what I'm watching on this one. If you go down to gold, I had sort of if you go to the daily chart, I have sort of this channel-like formation. So remember, long term we're very bullish after having this first touch, second touch, third touch bounce over there, and then now market is correcting. Okay, we got this correction within a flag formation, respecting the 61.8, and a few weeks ago we got this break above the 1750, and ever since we've been above it. Okay, so what I'll be watching, I expect some correction at this level. Okay, you see this first touch, this second touch, and this third touch over here. Expect some correction to come in. And what is that? If you go to the 4-hour chart, there's a channel-like pattern I have over here. So if you see this pattern, this is what I'm looking at. I have sort of this pattern, higher highs, higher lows. We got this bounce, and then we got this extreme bounce over here, and this was also a bouncing level. Okay, so at this point, I never bet against the trend, so I expect to see correction, but I won't trade that correction, but I'll be observing it so that I can get a buy. Okay, so on this one, I'm waiting to see if we'll get any major correction. Yesterday, market started dropping. I thought we'll get that momentum further down after getting this rejection, better seen on the 1 hour. So 1 hour here, so we got some momentum. Market fell about 200 pips within an hour. So I was expecting this market to continue, but what did we have? Market really pulled back up. So basically this week we've just been in a sideways movement. Market has been trapped within one sec. Market has been trapped within this level. Okay, so we've been trapped within this level. So I'll be paying attention to this level. Okay, so you can see sideways movement, high high, not really forming high highs, not really forming new lower lows. So I'll be watching here. If you get a strong breakout to the downside, I'll be expecting a correction. If I go back to my 4-hour chart, maybe this can be the start of the first wave. So normally what happens when we're getting a first wave in a bullish momentum, if you trade Elliott waves, this is normally what you call a leading diagonal triangle. So unlike an ending diagonal triangle, this is a leading. So it's starting the momentum in the direction of the trend. So if you get that, maybe this is that leading momentum to the upside. I'll be expecting maybe a major correction. If we get a break below this trend line, okay, this trend line over here, maybe to the 50 or the 61.8 Fibonacci level, that's really a long-term short, because that is looking at market to come back to the 1755 level, where I think we can get some good buys if we get that short momentum on that one. So I'll be watching that, especially if we get some dollar correction. That is what I'll be expecting on this one. But so far, I expect momentum to kick in later on today or tomorrow before the week ends. I don't think we'll be hanging around here long enough. If market gets that breakout on the daily chart to the upside above this trend line, then that bullish momentum will be in effect. You rather stay in that direction of the trend. That's what I have on that one. Dow Jones, this is a index, had a very good drop the other day. So long term, this is daily chart, just looking at high highs, high lows formation. I expect long term lower high highs to continue, but some correction was imminent. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it was quite obvious having this. This is now an ending diagonal triangle. Okay, so the first I told you it was a leading. This one is an ending. So you can do your own research, look at the difference between the two. If you do my MSS strategy, if you use my strategy under Financial Hub, you know we're normally looking for such patterns. You can see that first touch, second touch, third touch over here. Look at that crazy drop. If you didn't take your profits along this bullish momentum, then it's all been wiped out over here. Okay, so I expect some correction to come in over here. Of course, as we normally expect during a trend line, when it comes back to a trend line, let me draw it for you. So of course, expect some correction over here before we get any drop back to this level. I'm expecting market to come back to this region over here, okay, with the long-term trend. If you look at it, where I can get another buy, okay, as my third trend line bounce. I think you can see it better on the 8 hour. Let's go to the 8 hour. Okay, I have not renewed my account. Okay, so if you go back to the 4 hour, if you just zoom it out, I'm looking for this channel-like formation. So you see this first bounce, you see this second bounce. You can get market to come over here back to the 33,250 level, where I can get quite some buys. So I've been looking for some buys here, but so far right now, I expect some correction to continue just as I've drawn it. I expect some sideways movement here before we get that drop to the downside. Okay, so that's what I'm watching on that one. That can offer very good risk reward once you get that buy at this level. USDCAD market has been falling as we keep saying. If you tried catching a falling knife on this one, that has been quite a tough endeavor for the past 2 weeks or so. So you can see this momentum. Market has just been falling off the roof. Look, there's no major correction that has come in, and that is why you always want to trade in the direction of the trend. Looking at this channel, it's quite simple, quite clear, quite beautiful. So you want to be shorting this pair rather than buying. Of course, a correction can come, but you want to be the direction of the trend. If you go to US oil, you've seen market is really pushing to the upside. So there's this momentum that I'm watching. Let me go to the daily chart first. If you look at the daily chart, I talked about this, I think, last week or on Monday. I was still expecting some correction to the downside, but remember, I never trade corrections. I just expect them, but I won't trade them. I'll wait for that impulse to the upside. I was waiting for this market to drop at least back to this level before we can get any buys, okay? So a level you need to be watching is this significant level. This is a strong level where I think market won't break easily, okay? But that's just a bias, that's my opinion. You can see this first touch over here, second touch, and third touch over here. So causing sort of that triple top formation. So I want to see how market will respect here. Only if we get a break above it is when I'll be quite bullish to continue with this one. Long term, I'm always bullish on this one. But if you continue to remain below this level, expect some correction, maybe to the 38.2 over here if you take the previous low on that one. With the 4 hour chart, there's a pattern forming, sort of a flag formation. Okay, so what happened here? A fall to the downside and then a correction within this channel like formation, I mean a flag formation. So I'm watching to see if you get a break above this level, better be out of it, not looking for shorts. But if not, expect some shorts to come, at least for market to drop back to the $57 mark if you're not in the direction of the trend. But it's always best to bet in the direction of the trend, because in a bullish market, the bear factors are often ignored. So we keep saying that here a lot. You better be in the direction of the trend rather than opposite, okay? So that's what happened on this one. That's what I'm watching. The way it's pumping to the upside, that's what's causing that USDCAD to continue dropping and dropping further lower, because they are inversely correlated, because you know CAD is a commodity pair. So that's on US oil. When I'm normally looking at US oil, I think I told you guys last time, I'll also look at UK oil, so Brent. I'll look at Brent alongside crude oil to look at what is happening. And if I go the daily chart, sort of same pattern is happening, just that this one has a more significant resistance level. So you can see this level, okay? So you want to pay a lot of attention to that level. If you get a strong break above it, then that momentum can really continue to the upside. If not, expect some correction on the UK oil. I'm expecting a third trend then bounce over here, where we can get some long-term buys to the upside. That first touch, second touch, and third touch, okay? So with that said, just looking at a few overviews on other pairs which I don't trade but I watch. looking at Euro USD, which is in line with DXY. Okay, so if I just go over here, if you take a look at, expand that, long term market has been in a bullish momentum. I don't see any reason to be really short on this one. I also expect this one to continue all time to form new higher highs for the year. Okay, so that's what I'm watching on this one. Forward chart, you want to pay attention to this significant support. Okay, so there's this significant support level which acted as the resistance at first, got that breakout, retested, and then continued further higher. Unless you get any break below this is when you can become short on this one. I haven't drawn a trend line here, but you really need to draw it. If you trade this pair, that's something else you can also be watching. So I still expect this one to continue to form new higher highs to the upside on that one. If you want to short, maybe just like I was telling on the dollar index, maybe expect some shorts around this level. Okay, so there can be some targets here. If you use the structure, look left structure leads clue, using this as my previous resistance, you can be seeing if market can come maybe to that level, get that tap before any correction comes into that market. So that's what I'm watching on this one. Remember I said I don't trade it. Another pair that has been doing quite well, we've been talking with people in our Discord, is NZDJPY. Okay, so what was happening on this one? What we're looking at, those are quite some trap happening over here. And what basically happened, if you look at the daily chart, we had a significant resistance level. Okay, so long term, let me just zoom it out. You want to look at where market is going. You always want to know the direction of the trend. This one is quite bullish. Long term, you can see that high highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low here. And then market sort of came dangling over here, forming not significant higher highs, but if you look at the 4 hour, you can see the pattern that was forming. Okay, so if I zoom that in, you want to look at such a level. Okay, so you can see that first touch, second touch, third touch, we got that breakout to the downside. But when market came for the 4th time, we got a breakout, but that, what you want to pay attention to, wasn't a significant pump to the upside. Okay, so if I zoom it in, we sort of got this false breakout, a strong break back in. That was a significant shorting level. We got this market move back up, sort of. This was just hunting some stops, some tight stops that were here, and later on we got that crazy drop, and market has been falling from that level. So you want to see this market continuing, at least as long as we remain on the daily chart below this level, we can get some correction. Okay, don't be shocked if you see a massive correction to come to this trend line in line with this previous support. Okay, so if I just use this, it was a resistance, now acting as support. So if you're used to how I analyze, you can, by now you know how I analyze pairs, looking at previous support and resistance level. So don't be surprised to see market come here, get some significant buying position to push the market further up. With that said, I think I've looked at most pairs. I don't go deep into others because I don't analyze them deeply. GBP USD, this is a pair Ken analyzes a lot. The whole of this week, GBP has been in a bullish momentum. If you look at this chart, we're having that upward momentum, higher highs, higher lows of what market has been forming. I don't get deep into that because that is not a pair I trade often. But anyway, I've looked at quite a few pairs. I think that will be really helpful for you guys moving on, depending on the pairs you normally analyze. That's what I have today. I'll post this video on YouTube as usual. Today's Wednesday, so that's what I have on that one. So that's it. I don't have anything much. It's a cold day today, but it's quite lightening up quite a bit. So if you're looking to come to the CBD or to town, it's quite wet outside, but there's no rain at the moment. So that's your weather forecast for today, your analysis forecast for today, and I'll see you guys soon. So that's all I have. Have a wonderful week. I don't see any questions today really. I think I'll end it there. So that's it from me. The guys on internships, we're still looking at your resumes. We'll get back to you soon. So that's all I have. We're still sorting our Instagram account with Instagram. So if you've been in our Instagram account, if you're not seeing our Financial Hub page, remember I said we got hacked. So we're still sorting it out with the Instagram support team. Anything else? Not really. I have a class that I'm about to get into, so let me jump into that. I'll edit this video and upload it later on YouTube. So that's it from me. I see Felix saying thank you, you're totally welcome. And let's have a wonderful week, guys, and end the week strong. So I'll see you back here on Friday.